Hello there, kia ora. On Sunday, I was lucky enough to check out a preview screening of the upcoming Bad Jelly the Witch made by the team at Makpari Animation. Now, I've been a big fan of Makpari since their days making 48-hour films as part of the 48-hour filmmaking competition. I used to be one of the regional managers and occasionally got to judge things. I got to see early works from people like Taika Waititi and, of course, the team at Makpari. And to see people like this who are so passionate about their creativity and their craft is always really inspiring to me, and to see them succeed in creating something that's going to be iconic is absolutely amazing. And on January 1st, you can actually check out Bad Jelly yourself on the TVNZ website. This is a culmination of 25 years of working away to grow their niche in our creative sector. It's a sector that's worth $16.3 billion annually to our economy, which is about 5% of our GDP, which is actually more than mining, that so loved by the Facebook comment section that comes to life known as New Zealand First. It's actually one of the fastest growing sectors of the economy, and the Māori creative economy is growing even faster than the general creative economy. And at the end of November, the government made some sounds, which, like cooing adults making sounds at babies or cats meowing at humans, they sound soothing, but they don't actually mean very much. The Minister for Arts, Culture, Heritage, Media, Communication, and having to deny being Māori after his caucus friends somehow mistook him as tangata whenua, Paul Goldsmith, released some broad aims for the creative sector that they're calling Amplify, which sounds good on paper, like the weird targets the Prime Minister sets every quarter. They include increasing the value of the sector to $20 billion annually. They want to increase our soft power to help us become one of the top 25 soft creative powers in the world. They want to make sure that creative sector people working within the sector earn the median wage instead of, well, the half that they tend to get on average now. And they want to get more of us engaging in the arts and creative sectors. And while they all sound good, that last one is where the biggest hurdle is. Because, like so many things that this government does, it sounds good, but the details don't match the reality. That last goal, well, it has the most impact on the first three goals, but it's also the one which highlights the fact that this government says one thing, but in reality does something completely opposite at the same time. Like chalk and burning down your house for the insurance money. After all, this government has gone out of its way to degrade the creative sector. Its proxies have made very public deals about how wasteful the spending on the creative sector is. Not like a doomed treaty principles bill at all. Remember, Luxon said to Mike Hosking he thinks students should miss out on creative classes to make sure that they do an hour of reading, writing, and math in schools that they were already doing. Active threatened funding at Creative NZ, which is against the rules in the Cabinet Manual because they think creative undertakings have to fit into a very specific Eurocentric lens. Tama Pōtaka claimed National saved Te Matatini after Labour failed to fund it, which is the exact opposite of reality, but hey, where else would the government be on this? We've heard ex Todd Stevenson, who once went to a stage show, praise the work of the Taxpayer Union and their screeching about how the Film Commission did their job to meet and woo international sales agents at an event and had to pay for it. Instead of doing things for free, like the team of the Taxpayers Union clearly do, because of how passionate they are, working for all that exposure, which is what they seem to think our creative sector should be working for. At the budget in May, $5.5 million over 4 years was cut from the Film Commission, Ngā Taonga Sound and Vision, and the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra, the New Zealand Screen Production Fund that's used to make New Zealand films and television shows and therefore grow and upskill our screen industry. That lost $11 million in funding, which directly impacts our creative sector and the ability for people working in film to make a living, or to get to that median wage that the government seemed so keen to get creative people to. Oh, and the Regional Cultural and Heritage Fund was wiped out completely. And with the removal of the 4 well-being pillars in local government because central government doesn't understand what councils do and what actually constitutes a core service for the betterment of a community, well, council funding for creative endeavours also takes a hit. Right-wing government actions speak louder than their words, and they always have a target against the creative sector. They don't seem to see how any inherent value lies in it, despite how creative they seem to be with facts and evidence. Oh, and how much it actually helps our economy. Remember, more than mining. Now, for Bad Jelly, Makapati hired around 50 full-time staff here in Aotearoa, on top of people employed in other parts of the world. It involved massive international cooperation in Canada and the UK, and the final product will have markets waiting for it in those countries. And the result will be people falling in love all over the world again with a timeless story that's been updated with a Kiwi twist by creative New Zealanders. They had help and funding from New Zealand On Air and the Film Commission, and it took them 25 years to get to this point where they could run an animation studio, hiring full time staff within the creative sector to create a product that the world is going to see. Creativity is not linear, and being creative doesn't fall into neat little boxes. Hell, coming out as creative is still usually followed up with, but you do have a backup plan, don't you? And one way to actually achieve what the coalition say they want to achieve is to do the one thing that they refuse to do over and over. They need to stop expecting philanthropic rich folk to pay for the creative sector like Renaissance era European lords and actually invest in something that has both economic and societal benefits using facts, figures, data, and lived experiences as a guide over ideology and culture war buzzwords. Wait, you're still here? It's over. Find another video.